If you want to deepen your knowledge of the Italian language and need frontal lessons, visit our website mammamialearnitalian.com or click the link in the description. So, we've come to the second phrase of this dialogue. We've just analyzed "è che mi si è rotta la macchina e mi chiedevo." If you haven't seen that phrase and that video, I suggest you to go see it, okay? If you want to learn something. You can also see this video and not see the previous or the next ones if you want. I think it's best to analyze phrases to comprehend how to understand how our language Italian works, but it's not mandatory to see all the videos for every phrase as its content. Okay, it's meaningful to understand something in Italian. Okay, so this phrase is "Cosa se potessi prestartela." So there's a person that's questioning something. Okay, it's making some questions. So we'll analyze first in a literal sense, then in a broad sense. Okay. Cosa stands for what, okay? So cosa, what. Its literal translation would be thing, okay? A thing is una cosa, okay? It's the I don't know how to say it. It's a difficult it's a concept that's not very easy to understand. We tend to imply many things in Italian, okay? Cosa has become a question that has its own sense, but maybe comes from another phrase that was a lot longer, and we shrunk it down to make it more usable. Okay, it's very easy that it comes from cosa intendi or cosa stai dicendo. It means the thing you are saying. What's the thing you're saying? Okay. So it comes from che cosa, and then the rest of the phrase, but we shrunk it down to cosa. Okay, so it's easy that it comes from in this case, che cosa mi stai chiedendo? So what's the thing you're asking me? Okay, so in this sense, cosa, thing, becomes the entire phrase, okay? I don't want you to misunderstand it. It's not its meaning. So cosa, when it has a question mark, does not mean thing. Its literal translation is thing, but its translation in Italian, when it's inside the question, is what. Okay, so cosa, this time, because it has a question mark, because it's a question, is what. Okay, it can be also che cosa. Okay, what. Che cosa and cosa are very similar. They mean cosa. So the translation is what. The literal translation is thing, but it's another thing. Okay, it's like in Spanish, que when they ask que, they mean ¿qué me estás haciendo? ¿Qué me estás diciendo? Que it's ¿qué cosa? Okay, so every language tends to shrink down questions or answers that are very common. Okay, so cosa, what. Se potessi prestartela, here it's a little bit difficult. There's an implied subject, se io, if I potessi prestartela, se means if, okay, so we are in the hypothetical field, okay. Potessi, there is a little bit problem for those who study Italian in the conjugation of verbs. There are very, very, very many types of verbs in Italian, and almost all of them are not regular, okay? So you have to learn them by heart, especially the congiuntivo and the condizionale. So, che io faccia, che tu faccia, che egli faccia, se io possa, se io potessi, se tu potessi. Here we have a se potessi, meaning if I could, okay? And then we have prestartela. Here we have three different and difficult things. So, what, that's an abbreviation, shrunk down of the phrase. We have potessi, that you have to learn by heart what it means. It means if I could. It comes from the verb potere. So if I could. Prestartela. Here we start from the broad sense. It means, prestartela means if I can lend you, okay? Lend it to you, okay? But you have to see that here we have a word that has three things inside it. So it's a composite word. Prestar, that is the infinitive of prestare, lending. Prestar te la. So te, to you, la, that thing. So it's the substitute of the thing we are referring to. Prestartela means lend it to you. It's a composite word. So lend it to you becomes prestar, lend, te, to you, it. So literal, in a literal sense, it could be lend to you it. Okay? So the translation of this phrase is, what if I could lend it to you? Okay? It seems simple, but we see that in this phrase there are very particular and strange things of the Italian language. So the fact that we imply many things, the fact that we substitute things with a single word, the fact that we combine words to form a word that has many meanings, and that's all, I think. Okay, and that's the obvious implied subject of the phrase. So let's go to phrase 3. This one was tough. The third will not be this hard. And see you next time. Okay, bye guys.